Thank you, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today. I'm so delighted to feature today's very special guest who has traveled here to Elko to tell us about an amazing celebration in support of the Nevada Women's Fund. And in fact, I think Isla's probably going to be back and see us in September. Isla Atchabowski is here, and she is the CEO and the director of the Nevada Women's Fund. Isla, thank you so much for coming to Elko and helping us with this extraordinary event.
Lori, thank you so much for having me. I have to tell you, I absolutely love coming to Elko. We're here probably quarterly, so 3 or 4 times a year. It's always a treat. I look forward to any opportunity. Today we're here because we were invited to Beats and Bites at Great Basin College, but any reason to come to Elko to be a part of the community, to talk about Nevada Women's Fund and the work that we do and how we can support the community, I'm happy to be here.
Isla, that's fantastic. So let's just dig right in and we'll talk about what the Nevada Women's Fund is. You are celebrating a lot of accomplishments, but I know there are many goals. But this organization is 40 years old, is that right?
That's correct. Nevada Women's Fund was founded in 1982 by local women who saw an imbalance in funding going to women and women's organizations at the time. They wanted to make a difference. They determined the best way to better their community was by educating women. They believed at that time that if you educate a woman, you uplift a family, and if you uplift a family, you strengthen a community. Fast forward 40 years later, $10 million later, Nevada Women's Fund has been empowering women to achievement, and not only through education, but also professional development and career advancement, making sure that women have opportunities in any industry at any level to succeed.
Isla, thank you. And some of the people that we're going to talk about, too, were instrumental in founding Nevada Women's Fund from right here in our community. And you have the pleasure of knowing some of those women.
Absolutely. We made a connection right off the bat when I walked in the door. Nancy Remington, one of our founding board members, her husband was the president of Great Basin College many years ago. She is a philanthropist and still a huge proponent of education for women. And there's so many ties that come back to Elko, though. Over the years, our scholarship recipients have gone on to really do incredible things professionally, civically, philanthropically, and some of them are from right here in Elko, which is paramount to our mission, is ensuring that we're educating women to maintain the talent that we have here in our state. We don't want these incredible individuals leaving for opportunities when we know we have so many great opportunities here. So a huge shout out to one of my favorite women and an Elko native, Mariluz Garcia. Mariluz came to UNR in the mid-90s to go to college, ended up staying. Her family's still here, though, here in Elko. She's a Basco, very proud of her roots and comes back here often. But she is now not only a county commissioner in Reno, she's also the head of Dean's Future Scholars, which ensures that maybe at-risk students have an opportunity to be mentored from the middle school level all the way through their college education. So the impact that she has made is tenfold the scholarship that she received from us in the 90s, right? And there's so many of those stories, but I do like to talk about the local ones.
Oh, I'm so glad, Isla. And again, just underscoring the significance of Nevada Women's Fund and how even in the last 2 years, you have really enhanced the emphasis for providing opportunities for rural Nevada women.
Right. So I was born and raised in Fallon. So I am a proud native Nevadan, and I understand what it means to be raised in a small rural community. I understand that sometimes the resources are different and sometimes the opportunities are different. Not that you don't have them, but you're not sure what's available to you or if it's scary on the other side. So I like coming into these rural communities and really integrating and talking about, if you want to stay right here in your local community and give back, we want to make sure that you have the education and the career experience to be able to do that. If you want to go to Reno and go to the university to see what it feels like to live on the big campus, we want to make sure that you have the financial resources to do that. So when I came to Nevada Women's Fund 3 years ago with that mindset of a small Fallon girl, even though I have been out of Fallon and in Reno now for 3 decades, I understood and quickly learned that Nevada Women's Fund was established to support all of Nevada. I say ABC, anybody but Clark, not because we don't love Clark, but because Clark has a lot of resources. So when the fund was established, it wasn't just for Washoe County, even though that's where we were based, but it was for also all of our rural communities. And we've been doing that for decades. We've been putting checks in the mail, supporting women in their education all over the state of Nevada, but we were silent investors. Nobody knew that Nevada Women's Fund had a little piece of that woman's success, and now she is in their communities giving back. And so I said, we need to be in those communities, talking about who we are and what we're doing. That way we can grow the number of scholarship recipients that we're able to support. And I believe in the same way we'll grow the support that we receive from those communities when they understand that we're here to support and be a part of them. So in 2023, we committed to awarding at least 25% of our annual funding to women living and educating in the rural communities. In 2024, I'm really proud of this, Lori, that number went up to 33%. So we awarded $500,000 in scholarships in 2024, and about $160,000 went to women living and educating in rural Nevada.
Wow. Elko and Spring Creek, there is a big list, and we're going to highlight some of those accomplishments because we'll be celebrating them during the special dinner that's coming up in Elko on Tuesday, September 17th. Isla Atchabowski is the director. She's the CEO of Nevada Women's Fund, and I know, I can tell you do have that certain rural Nevada sparkle, even though you've been out of Fallon, like you said.
Oh, that's such a compliment.
It's true, though, because we understand what it's like, balancing that rural Nevada living. There are a lot of exciting aspects in the beautiful landscape that we live in. But as you talked about, too, it's always nice to try to stretch those boundaries and accomplish and maybe bring back to your community. And that's what a lot of these women have done. Among the other original sponsors or supporters of Nevada Women's Fund, it occurs to me, is Margaret Puccinelli, and she was a dean of nursing at GBC. And I notice a lot of your scholarships are going to some of our nursing students here.
Yeah, we actually have an anonymous donor. So the majority of our scholarship funding is donor directed, meaning our donors, whether they're corporate or individual donors, are very specific about where they want their money to go. So we have individuals, one specifically who's an anonymous donor, retired nurse from the rurals, who has given us $40,000 the last 2 years and said, I want this money to go only to women living in the rurals studying nursing. So that is why you will see a large number of our scholarship recipients are in that area, because that's where we have the funding. Now, we have many corporate partners as well. We like to align our scholarships with industry needs in the vein of workforce development. So now our corporate partners can say, we really want to build out our engineering department. So I want to fund scholarships to women in engineering. And along with those scholarships, I'm going to offer a mentorship program, or I'm going to offer an internship. So now that student has an employer who has a stake in her education. She's being exposed to network and to be able, the industry itself, she's being exposed to individuals in that industry. And I guarantee you, when she graduates from college, the first place she's going to go is to that employer who's been supporting her. So now those corporate partners have a stake in their own workforce development and are creating their own pipeline.
Isla, I know you were on campus at GBC earlier today as we just sat down in advance for our interview, and you're excited about what you're seeing up there and the energy and the enthusiasm and the opportunities that this scholarship's providing.
Talking to Amber Dinelli and hearing about we're igniting the fire at Great Basin College in 2024. We are all for that. The culture that she's creating, their enrollment is up by 17% just this year. There are good things happening right now in education. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I just love this statistic. For the first time in history, there are more women enrolled in and graduating from college than men. And that's not just at a local level, that's on the national level as well. but for the first time. And that says to me that we are alleviating those financial barriers for women to go to school. We're allowing women to see their education as a priority. And in that same conversation, I always want to point out that education to us is the career path that you want to take. So if that is a trades education and you want to earn a trade certificate, you want to become a welder, we will support women in any industry to receive the education that she needs to succeed in that career field. We know that our top industries here in Northern Nevada are mining, manufacturing, agriculture, and tourism. And those are all industries that require a lot of skilled trades. So if we're telling women that they don't belong in trades, what a disservice to say in our top 4 industries you don't have a place. So supporting women in any industry to succeed.
We're seeing a lot of leadership in women as well, and I know that that's something that the Nevada Women's Fund emphasizes, as evidenced by the keynote speaker that you have coming in. She seems incredible.
She is incredible. One of the additional ideas that our founders had when they created Nevada Women's Fund, of course, was education to empower women academically. But by creating an organization, a structured nonprofit that had a board, a working board with bylaws, and giving women literally a seat at the table, where in the 80s, women weren't necessarily invited into the boardrooms to have a seat at the table to build those leadership skills, to understand how to chair a committee and to truly lead. So over our 40 years, yes, $10 million, so exciting, but I'm equally energized by the 200 women who've served on the board of directors for Nevada Women's Fund, because they've been able to develop those leadership skills. And that's what we talk about, is creating women leaders. And yes, so at Celebrating Achievement, our very first annual event here in Elko on September 17th, we are flying in an incredible keynote speaker whose leadership skills were on the battlefield. And she was in Afghanistan. She was in a horrible helicopter crash. She was a gunnery sergeant, which is pretty dang cool. And she was injured, horrifically injured. And you want to think, well, that's the end of her story. And it's not. It's only the beginning. So she has a story of resilience that we are so excited for everyone in the community to hear. That's why we're inviting everyone. I mean, tickets are, I think we're going to sell out. That's how exciting it is. That's how she is driving attendance, because she's a TEDx speaker. She has an incredible story of motivation, of leadership, and resilience. So Kirstie Ennis will be our keynote speaker, and I hope everybody's able to come and hear it.
Oh, it's wonderful that you have been able to invite her here, and that we get to have that experience of being inspired by Kirstie. And tickets are on sale now, and there were also some sponsorship opportunities. Yeah. Is that still an opportunity, or?
I'm going to say yes until it's not. I think we have a few tables left, a few sponsorship opportunities. Sponsors can, for $1,000, have a table for 8 in the room, a delicious dinner from Machi's. You will get to hear from Amber Dinelli, the new interim president of Great Basin College. You'll get to learn about Nevada Women's Fund. You will get to hear from Kirstie Ennis. I promise you will leave the room feeling inspired and ready to see how you can make a difference in a woman's life.
And we need that. This is a time where it would just be great to feel that inspiration, to come together. There's been a lot of uncertainty in the months past, and even in the weeks leading up to, and it would just be a great opportunity to be inspired by someone like Kirstie, who she enlisted, I understand, in the U.S. Marine Corps at the age of 17 because she wanted to give to her country.
Yeah, both of her parents were in the military, and they said, absolutely not. And then she went and enlisted because it's what was important to her. She is a true hero.
And you'll be able to enjoy Kirstie, to get to meet her as the keynote speaker. Again, the event hosted by Nevada Women's Fund is going to be Tuesday, September 17th. And you can still purchase tickets. What's the best way to do that?
You can go to our website, nevadawomensfund.com or .org, nevadawomensfund.org. And then we have an events tab. If you go to that events tab, You can see our sponsorship opportunities and buy tickets.
All right. So that is coming up before you know it on Tuesday, September 17th. That will be in downtown Elko at the Western Folklife Center. So obviously raising money, raising awareness, celebrating achievement and accomplishments. And you do have several of your scholarship recipients listed. I'm not sure if we'll have a chance to meet them, maybe if they're going to be at the dinner, would you say, Isla?
Absolutely.
Oh,
so
fun.
The reason for some of those sponsorships is we invite our scholarship recipients every year to a dinner that we have in Reno to recognize them. But it makes no sense to ask these young women to come and be celebrated in Reno 4 hours away from their families. We want to celebrate them in their hometowns. So we invite each scholarship recipient along with 2 additional individuals, usually mom and dad, maybe it's husband and kiddo, at no cost. They are our guest for this dinner. And so that's why we do seek sponsorships. Not only are you supporting Nevada Women's Fund, but you are supporting these young ladies in their education and allowing them in the middle of, as they begin the next semester, they'll be in school, a really nice evening out where they just get to be celebrated and honored for the work that they're doing to improve not only their lives, but their families' lives.
Well, certainly just looking at the degrees that these women are pursuing in early childhood education and biology, and as we talked about, radiology, nursing, they will make such a difference in so many lives. Just
Absolutely.
the impact of that. And to imagine that they might not have the opportunity if they didn't have the funding through the Nevada Women's Fund scholarships.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we talk about at Nevada Women's Fund is our scholarships are twofold. We want to support need because we want every woman to have the opportunity to receive an education without financial barriers. We also celebrate and fund achievement because we want to make sure that those young ladies who are in their PhD programs and in the labs 18 hours a day and living on a very small stipend are able to continue their education because those are going to be our change makers as well. So celebrating not just need, but achievement is very valuable to Nevada Women's Fund. And it goes back to creating leaders, right?
So if someone wants to sustain the Nevada Women's Fund or even maybe apply as a potential scholar, what would you advise, Isla?
Our scholarship applications open October 15th and they're open through mid-January. You go to our website, again, nevadawomensfund.org, and you can apply. We notify our scholarship recipients every April and we award funds in July just because we want to make sure you're enrolled for that upcoming semester. And then we write our scholarship recipients a check that goes directly to them. Most scholarships go to the school, the university, or the college that the student is attending. We believe that women often can get their tuition paid through our amazing Millennium Scholarship or other scholarships we have here that we're fortunate enough to have here in Northern Nevada. But where those financial barriers come in are housing and transportation, childcare. So our scholarship funds go directly to the woman. We trust her to use those funds however she sees fit to finish her education.
That's huge. That's an unrestricted scholarship, Isla.
Unrestricted scholarship. And I will tell you as well, we give out larger scholarships. Our minimum scholarship this past year was $2,250, and our scholarships go up to over $5,000. So that, when it's going directly to the woman, can make a huge impact. That's months of rent. That's a mortgage. That can buy you not a new car, but a car that'll get you around that's new to you if that's what you need.
And that's so important because by supporting women in this way, education should not be a struggle. We understand that there are struggles, but as you mentioned, when you're working so hard to achieve something, that's so important. And we know that so many others have lost opportunities because of financial barriers. It's just such a generous thing to do. And you used a very important word, Isla, trust.
We have 4 values at Nevada Women's Fund, and the very first value is we trust women. We believe that women know what's best for them, best for their families, best for their futures. And so that goes back to one of our core values.
Isla Atchabowski is the president and CEO of Nevada Women's Fund and our guest here today. And we're talking about the fund and celebrating achievement in Elko. And you do have a lot of local support, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to mention that. I know Terry Gage with Ide Bailey has made presentations, I think, locally.
Terry Gage was honored at our Salute to Women of Achievement luncheon in Reno this year. We host a very large lunch. It's actually Northern Nevada's largest business luncheon every May. About 1,400 guests join us to honor and celebrate the achievements of women in Northern Nevada. Terry Gage was one of those honorees this year, so we got to meet her, as well as Ashley Dewey from Nevada State Bank. So when we started talking about putting this event together, we have a significant board in Reno that can support the work we're doing in Reno, but we needed boots on the ground right here in the local community. I'm happy to be here, but I can only be here once every couple of months. So we reached out to Terry and to Ashley. They said, absolutely. Another great supporter of ours is Valerie Hahn from Greater Nevada Credit Union, who does a lot of work here in Elko and with women in mining. And so those women have been instrumental in helping us put this event together. We look forward to celebrating that evening with them. And then, as you mentioned, we couldn't do this and we could not be Nevada Women's Fund without the support of our community partners. So we have some really incredible sponsors. Right out of the gate, we were honored to receive sponsorships from Nevada Gold Mines, LP Insurance, the Nevada Mining Association, the Nevada Trucking Association, Komatsu, Bailey. I could go on, but just when you come into a community and you're almost immediately feeling the love and feeling these companies say, we believe in the mission and the work that you're doing. We believe that women need to be empowered. We believe that the work and the achievements of women need to be recognized. We will come together and support that. And that's what we see in those sponsors. Heck yeah, that's how I know we're in the right community and we're doing the right thing at the right time.
Well, and obviously this 40-year-old organization has inspired many women over now at least a couple of generations. Isla, this is really exciting. Nevada Women's Fund has been empowering women locally and statewide with education and career advancement over 40 years. They've allocated $10 million to women and organizations that support them, and they have committed a great deal of financing and will continue to do so to rural Nevada women in particular. So this is an opportunity to step up, to support these scholarships in the future, but to meet the amazing people who support the mission. Isla?
Yeah, I'm very excited too. I asked, of course, our board of directors in Reno, I said, I would love for as many of you as are able, it's a lot to ask people to take a Tuesday and a Wednesday out of their week to come join us for this event. And I'm very excited to say I think I have 7 board members who are thrilled to be jumping in a 15-passenger van with me and going on a 4.5-hour trip. Who wouldn't want to do that? But that just goes to show their passion for the mission, their passion for spreading the word into the rural communities and making sure that every community in Northern Nevada knows that they have the support and the backing. And we are, at Nevada Women's Fund, their champion.
Well, it means a great deal to us, Isla. Thank you so much. And anytime that we can help support, obviously, women in education, people who are striving to earn their degrees or their certificates. As you mentioned, there are many vocational opportunities, and workforce development is so important. And to keep our talented, dedicated, passionate people as close to home as they want to be, right?
That's absolutely right. Yes.
Because we know this is a week where a lot of moms and dads have dropped off their children as they see them at college dormitories all around. And,
right.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm one of them. And I'm proud to say that my kids are continuing their education right here in Nevada. We did the Nevada prepaid tuition program so that our kids could remain right here in our state. We have incredible educators and incredible institutions from the University of Nevada, Reno to WNC, and of course right here at Great Basin College. We have great education system. And so let's take advantage of it and not only make sure that our kids are well educated in whatever way they want to be, but that they have the ability to succeed right here in their hometowns.
I know our daughter Olivia is a UNR grad just last spring. She got her environmental science degree. Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes. She's an Elko High alum. She was actually senior class president. And so she at first went to Westminster. She got a very nice scholarship there, and she thought that was the perfect, she really aspired to that school right over in Salt Lake City. And then when COVID hit, Isla, it sent them all back to their dorms, and she said, hey, Mom, Dad, this, I don't want to sit in my dorm and study this way. And she thought of coming back and going to UNR because at first she thought, well, I'm not sure. I like to spread my wings a little bit, right? But she fit right in. She loved her experience at UNR so much. And she got such a wonderful education that she landed a professional position right out of graduation.
That's amazing. And I love that you say she wanted to spread her wings, and I support that so much. So many of our scholarship recipients continue to live at home while they are going to college just so that they can afford college. And when we give them their scholarship check and we say, you can use this however you want. If you want the college experience, which is to me living on campus and eating in the cafeteria, that's part of the experience. And if that's what you want, you should have the financial resources or be able to access the resources to do that. I truly believe spread your wings, have those experiences.
And I'm not sure, Isla, if everyone understands, if you had the opportunity to go to college and your parents were helped you, or you had a scholarship, you may not understand the luxury of that, right? Because it's hard.
That's absolutely right. We get to talk to first generation college students. We call them first gen. I've learned that not everybody knows what that means. First generation college students, meaning nobody in their family prior to them has graduated from college. And for any parent who has gone through college with their kids, it's a complicated process, from the FAFSA to dorm living and the applications and knowing what classes to register for. So when a well-educated parent struggles to help their kiddos with all of that, and then you think these first gens are just on their own trying to figure it out, to have that support is key.
And we're even more proud of you if you're listening. I mean, we understand, again, that is a struggle. Great Basin College is a perfect place to start your education, whether it's in academics or a vocational experience that you're looking for. And the fact that Nevada Women's Fund can help you with an unrestricted scholarship, Isla, that's just great news.
Yes. And you asked, how can your listeners support Nevada Women's Fund? And I would say, first and foremost, come join us for dinner on September 17th at Celebrating Achievement. But we would love a donation. If you feel that you would like to support the mission and the work of Nevada Women's Fund, you can go to our website, nevadawomensfund.org. We have a donate button, and you can determine where that money goes. If you just want to give us $50, $500, or $5,000 and say, we believe that this will serve the mission however you deem best, that's fantastic. If you say, I want this to go to a scholarship program or a specific industry, we will do that as well. So there's so many ways you can support Nevada Women's Fund, and I encourage you to reach out with any questions.
And again, the important word here is trust. Yes, thank you so much, Isla. We trust the Nevada Women's Fund, and we trust those of you who are making decisions about your future, and we want to help you along the way. So one good deed deserves another, right?
Absolutely. Lori, thank you so much for this opportunity to talk about Nevada Women's Fund, to talk about our event, and for making me feel so welcome in this amazing community.
Isla Atchabowski, who is the Director, CEO of Nevada Women's Fund, our guest today here on Elko Live on KELK.